Then Shagayev
of Cuba, the reigning champion and world #1. He can be a bit of a wild man. There's his opponent, Evgeni Sudakov of the Soviet Union, who only reached the 3rd round of the European Championships. But Savon is worth watching. He's got a tremendous record. And on his way to this final, he actually knocked out the European champion from the Netherlands, Arnold van der Leijden, in the very first round. So he's a big puncher. And Sudakov will know that he has his word cut out here. We've seen the Soviets beat the Cubans at middleweight. What is going to happen at heavyweight? First round of 3 for the World Championship gold medal. Huge man, Savon. So tall, great reach. And he looks nice and mobile too, doesn't he, for a heavy. Pumping in that jab once or twice early on. Sudakov, in fact, was only the silver medalist in this year's Soviet Union Championships, but he won the international tournament in Berlin quite recently, beating Axel Schultz in the final there. He too has fought van der Leijden this year in those European Championships and lost it, but only on a 3-2 decision. Whereas, let me remind you again, Savon knocked out van der Leijden in a round when they met here. Savon's jab very prominent in the opening stages. Savon in the blue, let me remind you, Sudakov in the red. The Cubans have a great tradition, of course, at heavyweight, through the great Teofilio Stevenson, 3 times the Olympic gold medalist and twice a winner at the World Championships. And he's here coaching the Cuban team. He'll be at ringside for this. He's now 38. A lot of people think that Stevenson would have won a 4th gold had he gone to Los Angeles, but the Cubans boycotted it. Savon beginning to step up the pace. And he is a real handful, isn't he? Can't see that coming at you. Sudakov quite content to hold on inside, cut down the range a little. He's safer in there. You can't do that though, and that is a warning for holding for Sudakov, and that is going to count against him in the scoring. Just clinging on there, making no attempt to fight at all, and the referee decided that that was illegal. Another close quarter more. Bad news that for Sudakov, because he does need to get in there close and cut down the range on Savon, who's picking him off from a long way away. Look at those. And there's superb hand speed too from that Cuban. He maybe isn't the greatest scientist or technician in the world, but he's fast and he's powerful and he hurts. And Sudakov knows it at the end of that first round, which frankly was pretty one-sided. And poor old Sudakov, to add to his problems, he got the warning as well for clinging on. But look at Savon punishing him there from all angles.
He's in the red corner. He's 26 years old, the national champion of this year. He has been engaged in 215 bouts.
So Savon, second round here. On the left of your picture, the tall Cuban in the blue. I suppose you might call him the Mike Tyson of the amateur ranks at the moment, Savon. except, of course, Tyson hasn't yet been beaten. And rather surprisingly, Savon was, a few months ago, by the little-known North Korean Lee Del-hen in the 1989 Spartakiad in Bulgaria. Savon was all over him, but then left himself open and got himself knocked out. So there is some hope for Sudakov here, if Savon gets careless, but I dare say the Cuban will have learned his lesson from that, and again he continues to punish Sudakov at will. And this really is a very heavy barrage indeed, and I'm not quite sure how much more of this Mr. Sudakov will want to take. There's not too much coming back. Sudakov, I think, might be quite pleased to have the head guard on in this particular instance. It's interesting with the heavyweights, a lot of them, not only in World Championships, but Olympics, have gone on to become famous names in the professional ring, the likes of George Foreman and Joe Frazier, and of course the great Muhammad Ali, who fought and won an Olympic gold medal as Cassius Clay back in 1960, although that gold was at light heavyweight in his case. And problems with the glove for Savon.